Peace and shalom, Fountain of Israel family. This is Brother Robert, and I want to thank you for joining me this week. What I decided to do was take some of our lessons and categorize them and make playlists so that you can enjoy and focus on the topics that interest you, as well as the topics that you may want to share with others. So go back to the YouTube page, check out the various playlists, and they could go from being new to Torah or the Torah law. It could be about prophecy. It can be about false doctrine, but I want to put particular lessons together so that you can find it in an easy to search format. So just check out the playlist in our Fountain of Israel YouTube channel. Enjoy the lesson. Peace. All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining us on this program. Once again, this is a Fountain of Israel program, and it's an honor and a privilege for me to stand before you on the Lord's Sabbath day. Now, we're going to start a new series today. I'm not sure if it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, but we're going to get through it until we're actually done. The name of this series is The End of Days, and it is exactly what the name and the title implies. We're going to be dealing with the end of days. Now, where we start will be in Revelation, and we're going to start with the seals, okay? So let's go to Revelation 5, if you will, and we're going to start with the seals. Now, we have a lot of ground to cover, and I assure you we will not cover all the ground in one class, okay? So this is going to go a few weeks, and then it'll lead us right into our feast days, hopefully, if it lasts that long. But I want to do it some justice, so you guys will have to bear with me. Revelation 5, I like to start at verse 1. Revelation 5, verse 1, if you will.
And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?
Now, we're talking about in heaven. Now, we're talking about seals. How many seals? 7 seals, okay? That's what we're dealing with, okay? And now we're going to answer the question of when were these seals open? When did that start, okay? Now, notice they're in heaven, and he said in verse 2, And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? Now, go ahead in verse 3, brother.
And no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon.
Okay, so these things needed to come to pass, so that was the problem. Now, we're going to pause right there, because we're going to come back. Okay, so you guys, we're going to be in and out of Revelation, so please keep your mark in Revelation. Let's go to John 20 real quick. We'll come back. We'll come back to Revelation. We're going to be in and out of Revelation. So, John 20. Now, so far, there was no one found who can open the books thereof. All right, so we're gonna see. Now, we're going to see why was no one found, okay? And we're talking about a vision in heaven. So, at the time, there was no one found. Now, look at John 20. And let's read verse 17. Now, we're going to see why there was nobody in heaven at the time, because he was on earth. John 20 and 17. Let the Bible speak.
Jesus saith unto her, Touch me not.
Why not?
For I am not yet ascended to my Father. But go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.
Now let's look at that ascension. Go to Acts 1. Let's look at that ascension. The next book over. Go to Acts chapter 1. Acts chapter 1. Okay, and let's read verse 9. Okay, Acts chapter 1 and verse 9. Okay.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight.
Okay, so now there's nobody on earth who can open up the seals thereof. At first he was on earth, so there was no one in heaven Now right here, there's no one on earth because he's taken up. Go ahead, brother.
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Okay, so you've seen that, and he's going to be right back. Go ahead in verse 12.
Then returned they unto Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey.
So that's where he was. Now we're going to go back to Revelation 5. Okay, so now we know. Okay, he was on earth, then he ascended up. He said, I hadn't ascended yet, so no one was there at the time. At that moment, no one was there at the time. Okay, then when he ascended, then there was no one was on earth who can open it. Okay, it was in the middle of his ascension. Now let's go back to Revelation 5 and take a look at that. Because moments later, okay, Revelation 5, moments later, okay, he said, and I wept much because, in verse 4, I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 5, brother, go ahead.
And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof.
Look who showed up. Look who showed up in heaven. The Lion of the tribe of Judah showed up. Okay? And he said, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. Seven seals. Verse 6, brother.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Okay, this is just rulership, or a symbol of power and rulership. Okay, this is what this is all about. This is what this lamb slain from the foundation of the earth. Verse 7, brother. And what did he do in verse 7? And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne.
2 people, huh? 2 people? Okay, so so he didn't go take the book from himself, right? Okay, so, and he came and he took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And what did he do in verse 8, brother?
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials.
What are they?
Full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints.
So now you see it explains itself too. We know that this vial full of odors, these harps and vials, golden vials full of odors, they're the prayers of the saints. So your prayers are being heard and collected, okay, and brought before the Father. Given to Christ, brought before the Father. It all means something, brothers and sisters, okay? But we're just going to go up one chapter. Now we're going to go ahead and get into these seals. Let's see what they are, okay? Now we know in the first century when Christ ascended, we know when these seals started opening, okay? Because they unfold. The whole plan starts to unfold. Verse 6, let's go to chapter 6, Revelation chapter 6. Because some people, they read it and they be like, oh, well, I don't mess with Revelation. That's just too hard, too much symbolism. No, just study. It's okay. Okay, just read, study, pray in the Spirit. You'll get some understanding. That's what the Spirit's supposed to do, give you some understanding, right?
Sir.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So, Revelation 6, pick it up at verse 1, brother. Let's take a look. Now, the Lamb, we know who that is. We know that's our Messiah. We know that's Jesus Christ, okay, the Christ. We know that's Yeshua. So let's go. On Revelation 6, verse 1. Go ahead, brother.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw and beheld a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Okay, now, this one is not the Christ. It just looks like that. This is Antichrist. The spirit of Antichrist was released in the first century and is still prevalent today. Anti this book, anti this Christ, anti the truth, anti-Torah, okay, which is still truth. That's what's been happening starting from the first century. Well, it's always been there, but it's been more prevalent, okay? It grows, okay? When we look at later on, we're going to get into Matthew 24 and all that, and it describes things as birth pains, and women who've had children, they already know. Have a birth pain, it might be a long time before another one comes. But when it gets closer to the time to deliver, there are more birth pains, and they come more frequently, and they're more intense, right? Okay, so we know that's what happens there. So we're going to hold our finger right there. Now we know this first seal is for false religion.
Seal number 1, false religion. And you guys on camera, you won't be able to see this, but I'm just writing false religion in this number 1 spot on the board, okay? I'm just going to write false religion. So we know what we have. I abbreviate there. So false religion, just so we remember what we're dealing with. Seal number 1, false religion. So let's talk about this in the first century. Go to 1 John. Don't worry. We will go back to Revelation. 1 John 4. Go with me to 1 John 4. Just going back about 4 or 5 books. 1 John 4. And we're going to pick that one up at verse 1. 1 John 4, verse 1. Go ahead, brother.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Who went out into the world?
Many false prophets.
Many false prophets. Go ahead, brother.
Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God.
Yes.
And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God.
What else?
And this is that spirit of Antichrist.
The spirit of Antichrist. Go ahead.
Whereof ye have heard that it should come.
Open up that seal. Go ahead.
And even now already is in the world.
It's already in the world. Already in the world. Now, he did give us a little note of comfort in verse 4, kind of give us a little bit of comfort. But the spirit of Antichrist is in the world, and it's in the world right now. Started back then, still here today. Go ahead and give us verse 4, brother, before we move on. Go ahead.
Ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
That is the spirit that's supposed to dwell in us, so that you rest assured. Okay, we're going to continue. Jeremiah 10, we're still dealing with, false prophets, antichrist, false religion, stuff like that. Just going to read one verse in Jeremiah 10. One verse, Jeremiah 10 and verse 21. Okay, so in the first century, stuff like this, even though it was in the Old Testament, still happened. It just exploded. False religion started in first century. It just exploded, and then around 300, especially around 325. I mean, it was just became an organization. See, a lot of it was just a bunch of individuals, making names for themselves, and then organized religion came. Okay, so Jeremiah 10, read verse 21.
For the pastors are become brutish,
yes,
and have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered.
That day is coming. 2 Peter. 2 Peter. Because a lot of people are going to be running out of the false churches, okay? Because they can be like, we were lied to, so I'm out of here. So a lot of people are going to be scattering out of there, okay? These false pastors. So let's look at 2 Peter 2. And we'll pick it up at verse 1. 2 Peter 2 and verse 1. When you get there, brother, let the Bible speak.
But there were false prophets also among the people.
Yep.
Even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
See, they're going to pay for that in the end, and they are going to bring about damnable heresies. You don't have to do anything for the Lord. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to keep the law. You don't have to, the paganism, that doesn't even matter. They say that you're in a cult, okay? But then when you examine theirs and what they believe, because all you're doing is holding your Bible. You got your Bible, you're reading it, trying to do the best you can. But then when you examine other religions, okay, when you're worshiping a stock and you're rubbing a stone and you worshiping trees and you're praying towards Mecca and you have, when you have the pagan origins, of their most famous and precious holidays out there. But you're in a cult. You have your Good Fridays, you have your Easter Sundays, you have your Lent, you have all this other stuff not found in the Bible, but you're in a cult. Now what you do, you can find in the Bible, but you're in a cult. Your Bible says, obey your God, have faith, you might have a chance. but you're in a cult. No, no, no. You don't have to do all that. Bringing in damnable heresies. You either have, even on the enlightened side, those who walk in the path of what we call the truth, those who are supposed to be in the way, they have their own heresies. They have their own. You got everything right, brother. Everything you preaching it. You're doing really good. But the name, more damnable heresies. When he said, I'm going to speak to my people in other tongues, other languages.
My name shall be great amongst the Gentiles.
Yeah. My name shall be great amongst the Gentiles. All that. Just damnable heresies. You know what? I would. It's like as if you're going to go on that day of judgment. And he said, you know what? You were doing pretty good. I was going to give you grace, but you just kept calling me by the wrong name. If you just had my name right, I'd save you. If you just had that right.
He holds his word above his name, though.
Yeah, word's more important than name. You ask him, okay. You say we have a good understanding. We're pretty much on the same page. We got the truth and everything. So can you quantify what you get by calling it another name and that I don't get? If I say Jesus, or if I say, Yeshua, or whatever, because that's the other argument too. Jesus is not it, but they don't know what is it. You see, that's the difference. They're going to get you off Jesus. Oh, I'll leave that alone. Okay? No. That means Hail Zeus. Oh, that's Jay. Jay's only 400, 500 years old. Okay, so what's the name? Group number 1, what is it? Yahweh Shah. Okay, group number 2, was Yeshua. Group number 3, what was Yehoshua? Mainly by all people who don't speak Hebrew. But I'll let y'all work that out. Okay, so Isaiah 30. Let's go to Isaiah 30, who privately brings in damnable heresies. Did we read verse 3, brother?
No, we were on 2.
You know what? We were on 2. Go ahead, brother, verse 2.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways.
Many people. Go ahead.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
Sure it is. The truth is evil spoken of right now, today. You bring the Bible up to someone, and it's sad, sometimes you can bring the Bible right in the church, and they'll run you right on out of here. No, we don't do that here. Okay, verse 3. Go ahead.
And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you.
Of course.
Whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not.
Oh, because their end is coming. Okay, that's what's going to happen to these false apostles, as some people call themselves apostles today. I don't get that one, but you got these false prophets and these false apostles and stuff like that. You have these guys up there, and they make merchandise of you. You're a head count. You're a head count at Christmas. You're a head count at Easter. You're a head count at the offering plate. You give them prestige and notoriety. If they have a book, you're a merchandiser. Hey, I got a book. Go buy my book. Oh, I got a speaking engagement. Come out and see me. They make merchandise of you. You're a head count, okay? They do use you. All right? So that's exactly what it is. You think you're not merchandise, but when you were following everybody else like sheep, you were merchandise. So was I. Hey, we got to do pastor's appreciation, pastor's birthday, and come on, man. Come on. We were all merchandise. Come on. Isaiah 30. You seen it, heard of it, or was a part of it. So Isaiah 30. We're still dealing with a little bit of this, and then we're going to go to we got 2 more here, and then we're going to go to the next seal. So Isaiah 30, and let's pick it up at verse 8. Isaiah 30 and 8. Wait a minute. 30, and I hope chapter 30 and 8. Go ahead, brother.
Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
Yes.
That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
That won't hear what?
The law of the Lord.
So when you guys go out there and y'all try to tell them something about they got the faith part. That's why you don't really spend a whole lot of time talking to them that you got to have faith, because at least they think they have it. They got the faith part down. But when you start kind of putting the law with that, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, except they don't have only one side. Okay? I'm trying to give you a PB&J sandwich. You say, okay, keep the jelly away from me. Or matter of fact, the peanut butter. Okay? Because the jelly is the sweet one. They like the sweet stuff. Okay? I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Hold the peanut butter. That's all they're saying. Okay? That's it. All right? That's all that's happening. Okay? But he said in verse 9, he said, that this is a rebellion. Now he wants us to note it in the book. I'm going to write this down that these people ain't going to want to hear this stuff.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. Write this down. Take a note, Isaiah. Okay? That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Verse 10.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Lie to me. Go ahead.
Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, because the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Exactly, because if you, of course the Holy One of Israel is going to cease from before you. You don't want to hear anything he has to say. You don't believe in him. You don't want to hear nothing what thus says the Lord. So he can be like, you know what? You don't have anything to do with me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. We'll sell it up at the end. If you want God to leave you alone, he'll leave you alone until the end.
You know, wake you up.
Yeah, until the end. He'll leave you alone for a while. So 2 Timothy, and then we're going to go to the next seal. 2 Timothy. He will leave. He will grant you your wish. Oh, you want me to leave you alone? Okay, no problem. I won't bother you for the time being. 2 Timothy 4. 2 Timothy chapter 4. 2 Timothy chapter 4, and then we're going to go to Revelation. 2 Timothy chapter 4, and I want to pick it up at verse 1, if you will, brother. 2 Timothy 4 and 1. When you get there, let the Bible speak.
I charge thee, therefore, before God and the Lord Jesus Christ, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom.
Yes, sir.
Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Yes, sir. That's how we're supposed to do this. We got to reprove, we got to rebuke, we got to exhort. We got to build each other up, we got to correct each other, okay? We got to, hey, whoa, that's not right. You know, we got to do that, but we got to do it with patience, all long suffering and doctrine. You got to come with the what thus says the Lord. You got to come with the Bible. Can't go, well, I think. Well, you think don't hold a cup of coffee. I don't care what you think. What does the Bible say? Okay? All right? What I think is not going to get you into the kingdom. But what the Lord says could help you. Okay? So, and doctrine. That's teaching right there. Verse 3, brother.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Are there people who don't want to hear it today? Keep going.
Sir. But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth.
And what?
And shall be turned unto fables.
They love the pretty stories. They love the feel good. Oh, I went on vacation and I had a revelation. And some other shun. All the time. Just to make you feel a little better, you know. You're a winner. You're so great. You're wonderful. God loves you. He wants you to be happy. Yeah, it's unconditional. There's nothing you can do. You could repent.
Be holy.
You could do that. Oh, there's nothing you can do. He paid it all. You don't want to try to earn your way into the kingdom. You can't earn your way into heaven. You can't have that works salvation.
I mean, if that was the case, then why did God get mad at Adam if he can never do anything wrong?
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, you could do something wrong.
Apparently, you can. Apparently, you can do something wrong and get cut off. Yeah. And they say, well, you don't want to have this work salvation, but Christ's own brother said that faith without works is dead. So he thinks you got to do something. You got to do some sort of works. He's the one who say, look into the perfect law of liberty. Same James. So he feels like you got to do something. Or even Paul, do we make void the law because of faith?
God forbid.
God forbid.
We establish the law.
Yeah, we'll establish it. But I thought you weren't supposed to do anything. Interesting. Again, that's the reason I bring that up, because that's the first seal, and that's what's going on. It's happening. So you can, I don't believe it's happening. You can be standing outside. Well, I don't believe it's raining. Well, why are we getting wet? You know, you see what I'm saying? Well, why is there wet stuff coming out of the sky and everything's wet? It is raining. First seal. It's open. It's happening right now. This was written 2,000 years ago, and it's happening right now. It's been raining ever since. Revelation 6. Revelation 6. We're going to go Revelation 6. We're going to deal with the next seal. Revelation 6. Okay, we saw the first seal. We saw what it was, so a little quick recap. And I saw and beheld a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer, because he conquered our mind. He conquered us religiously. He set up a mother church. She had some harlots, and now you got what you have today. Okay, so now we're going to go to verse 3. What do we have there in verse 3? Revelation 6, verse 3.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see.
What happened?
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
Wait a minute. So this next horse is a red horse, and it's going to come, and it's going to start, it's going to take peace from the earth. So it's going to be a lot of violence in the earth, right? You don't need no interpretation for that. And then it said, and that they should kill, that they, us, okay, people, mankind, should kill one another and do what?
And there was given unto him a great sword.
Okay, weapons of warfare. That's what's going to happen in that. There's going to be war. Has there been some wars since 2,000 years ago, since the first century? There's been some wars.
Sure.
Been plenty of wars. And they've been increasing, and the death toll has been adding up, like those birth pains.
Just in the past century, there's been a lot of wars.
A lot, and even more. And more deaths. Why? Because the weapons are more sophisticated, so you can kill more people at once. Right? We used to have wars with swords, bows and arrows, stuff like that. And they killed a lot of people then. Imagine how many more people can die with automatic weapons, and grenades and bombs and napalm. A lot more deaths. Birth pains.
Chemical warfare.
More, all of it. Biological, chemical warfare. A lot more people. Yeah. A lot more people are dying. Those birth pains. More intense and more frequent. Okay? So, that's that second seal. That horse, he came out that you can kill, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay? So, that second seal is war. Go to Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59. Let's look at this a little bit. Isaiah 59 and verse 8. 59 and 8. Isaiah 59, 8. Okay, so he's talking about the second seal is taking peace from the earth. Okay? Isaiah 59 and 8. Go ahead, brother.
The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Therefore is judgment far from us, neither doth justice overtake us.
Yep.
We wait for light, but behold obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness.
Is that not happening right now? I mean, we're looking for justice. We're looking at how come we're fighting each other. Even if we're not even talking about American soil, I'm just talking about around the world, people fighting each other and all that. And we're like, are people crazy? Has the world gone mad? Yeah, pretty much. It has. It has. Because we're fighting and killing each other for some of the most minute things. Ridiculous. Yeah. For nothing. Killing people over like maybe an idea, not even a real offense. Big things, little things, it doesn't matter as long as we get to kill somebody. That's all that matters. Go ahead, verse 9, brother. No, you read 9, go 10. 10.
We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night.
Eyes, go ahead. Go ahead.
We are in desolate places as dead men.
Yeah, we groping. See, groping around is like you walk around and you're blind, right? All right? You're trying to feel your way around. Okay, that's groping around. Eyes wide shut right now. That's really what's going on. We don't understand peace. We don't understand how can we be at peace. Truth be told, we will never know peace until the Prince of Peace shows up. When the one righteous, true king shows up, which we're dealing with this series, the end of days, that's really what it's going to culminate into, because that's what it's going to take. There will be no fighting, no bickering, no nothing. Whatever he says goes, and that's it. And if you don't like it, you have to deal with him. He will rule with an iron rod, and that's it. You won't have a say. It's not a democracy when he shows up. What you think doesn't matter. Because you can't judge. See, you and I, sinners, we're flesh. So we can't pass judgment on someone without sin, regardless of what we think, regardless of our perspective. We have no right. No right whatsoever. So what he says goes, because he's right. He's pure. He's sinless. Who are you to judge? No democracy. Doesn't need your help. Okay? You get the help. That's great. You'll get the help. He has a position for you if you get into that kingdom. He has a position for you. But believe me, he can do it all by himself. Just be thankful that he wants a family and wants you to be a part of it. Be thankful for that. Let's see. Let's go next to Job 20. Job 20. Go back about 5 books. Job 20. Just want to read a verse there, because we don't know peace. We don't understand peace. Something is wrong if we're in Job 5. I'm sorry, Job chapter 5 and verse 20. Forgive me. Job chapter 5 verse 20. Job 5 and 20. One verse, and then we'll move on. 5 and 20. Go ahead, brother.
In famine he shall redeem thee from death.
Yes.
And in war from the power of the sword.
Okay, because that's what's going to be happening at the end. War. Okay? War. All right? Go ahead and give him 21. Go ahead, brother.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. One more time at verse 22. Go ahead.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Okay, so that's him saving us from those things, because this destruction, this famine and stuff, that's in one of the other seals. So just remember this part. We won't have to come back to it. So just remember this part right there. Okay. So let's go on over to Psalm, next book, Psalm 68. Very next book, Psalm 68. All this is going to go down in war. Psalm 68 and 30. Okay? Because we just love war. We love it. We love it. It's in our nature. We love war. So, Psalm 68, 30. Go ahead, brother.
Rebuke the company of spearmen, the multitude of the bulls, with the calves of the people, till everyone submit himself with pieces of silver. Scatter thou the people that delight in war.
Scatter thou the people that delight in war, and we delight in war right now. A couple of more spots, and then we're going to go to the third seal. You're still in Psalm. Go to Psalm 120. Just go to chapter 120. Chapter 120. Okay. And we're going to read 2 verses, the last 2 verses, 6 and 7. Psalm 120, let's read 6 and 7. This is the state of where we are in. Go ahead.
My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace.
Yep, we put up with a lot of people that hate peace. Go ahead.
I am for peace.
I'm for peace.
But when I speak, they are for war.
That's what the whole world is about. It's all about war. Okay? Been talking about that. It's all about war. And that second seal is bust wide open. Okay? Now we're going to look at Matthew 24. We're not going to stay in Matthew 24 because we've got to read pretty much almost all of it a little bit later. So Matthew 24 and 6, and then we're going to go to the next seal. One verse in Matthew 24. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of New Testament on there. Matthew 24 and verse 6, and then we'll go right back to Revelation 6. So, Matthew 24, verse 6. Go ahead, brother.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Yes, sir.
See that be not troubled.
Why?
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Yeah, it's going to feel like it because these wars are going to get really close, and they're going to be knocking on your door. They're going to be real close, okay? To some people, they're going to be right in the heart of it. It depends on where you are on the earth at the time. But these wars are going to get bad. They're going to get more intense. You think we've seen some wars. You ain't seen nothing yet. Some wars will be fought right here. That's why 9/11 was so bad. We've never been attacked on this soil, not since like the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, but that's us fighting us. Understand, right? So that's why it was so like mind-blowing. That's how that everyone paradigm got shook. See, most of us can remember exactly what we were doing on that day. That's how hard it hit. It's like, whoa. You remember where you were? You remember what you were doing? You're like, what? That's how big it was. We got unified. Actually, it was like all Americans, racism seemed to go away for a minute. For a minute, it was like no racism. You had black people, white people, Latino people, everybody was together. We're Americans. Oh, man, whoa, these people, someone attacked us. Let's go get them. We band together. That paradigm got shook that day. And 15 years later, back to fighting each other, hating each other, more racism. Yeah. Worse off. Even had a black president since 2001. Still is, still in right now, but racism didn't seem to get any better. So, we don't know peace. We don't. We don't know peace. We don't. We kill one another. We kill other people. Did we establish America through peace? Let's move on. Let's move on. Was that done peacefully? Did they come over and say, your land's it's kind of pretty. It's rich in resources. You mind if we? Come on, come on. Mind if we stick around a little bit? No. So come on. My point is, we don't know peace. We think we know. Our peace is like a Band-Aid. Doesn't last very long. We have peaceful moments, but we don't know everlasting peace. We have no clue. No idea. Revelation 6. Let's go to the next seal. Revelation 6. Let's start at verse 5. Now we're going to the third seal. Okay, we just finished war. Now, verse 5, Revelation 6 and 5. Go ahead, brother.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
Okay.
And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands.
In old times, when there was trade and barter, you had something of value, the vendor had something of value. What did they put it on to measure? Scales. Symbolizes the economy, finances, trade, bartering, things like that. This whole economic system symbolizes scales. That's what we're talking about, okay? So now we know what this means, and it's going to even give us a little bit of verse 6. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
And we still have oil and wine today. So don't hurt the oil and the wine. A lot of our wars are fought right now over oil, isn't it? But oil is still around. That has a value. So don't hurt that. But the economy will be affected, okay? It will be affected. So we're talking about the economy. Go to James 5.
And don't they have that lady holding that balance?
Holding the balance.
Right?
The blindfold, yep. Blind scales of justice. Thank you, sister. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I'm glad you About the economy, blind scales of justice. All this symbolism that we kind of ignore and everything, just like when people are like, oh, you know, how do you guys know? I mean, there's a lot of symbolism. And like, well, how do you know you guys are Israel and stuff like that? I'm like, well, there's a lot of signs pointing to it. You know, I'm going to lead you into captivity in the ships back into Egypt as swift as the eagles fly. $1 bill, flip it over. An eagle on one side, a pyramid on the other side. Came over here in bondage.
On ships.
Right, on a ship. With yokes of chains around your neck. Coincidence? I think not. James 5.
That even happened to the Jewish people in the Holocaust or anything like that.
None of that. None of that. No ships, no chains, no ever in Egypt, ever. So, all I'm saying is that it fits a certain group of people and it doesn't fit another group of people. I'll let you decide. James 5. I'll let you figure that out all by yourself. James 5 and pick it up at verse 1. James 5 and pick it up at verse 1. Now we're talking about the economy. We're talking about our money. Now, a lot of things when he says, you can't serve God and mammon and stuff like that, he really doesn't want us to put our trust in money. He doesn't. I mean, God, because that can be eaten up, this worldly wealth. That can be taken away in a blink of an eye. So he didn't really want us to count on that. Well, I'm going to be okay for the end times because I'm rich. I have a mountain, I have 6 cars. I mean, a mansion, I'm sorry. I have a mansion, I got 6 cars. I'm okay. I got plenty of food. I'm all right. Don't trust it. You're not okay if he's not with you. You're not okay if he's not with you. Exactly. So James 5, let's pick it up in verse 1. Go ahead.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Go ahead.
Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Yes, you try to do it for the last day. That's not going to save you. Oh, you say, oh, well, brother, you kind of do the whole preppers thing and stuff like that. See, it ain't going to matter. See, no. You got it all wrong. These people right here are trying to do it and trust in their riches. I know no matter what we do, if God's not with you, you're not going to make it. But that doesn't mean you don't get prepared. Noah still had to build that ark. Difference was God was with them. People knew how to swim. They still died. God wasn't with them. That's the difference. That's the difference. God's got to be with you. Yeah. How do you drown a fish? See, that's something else. That's something else. So let's go to Psalm 49. We're going to read one there. Psalm 49. Psalm 49. Okay. Okay, so let's see 49 and read verse 6. Psalm 49, verse 6. Go ahead, brother.
They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches.
What's going to happen?
None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. Your
money can't save you. Your money can't save you. But he's saying there's going to be a time where people really, really trust in their money and they really trust in their wealth. And it's not going to really do them any good. So my warning to you is that we don't become one of those people who trust in our wealth to save us. It's not going to save you. I'm not saying you can't have some wealth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't trust in the fact that you have a little bit that it's going to save you. Because it's going to be an uncertain time. We're looking at that third seal. Real uncertain time. Real scary, scary time. You better draw close to God. You better understand who your maker is. You better serve him. You better have faith. Clean yourself up a bit, repent, things like that. That's how you're going to help yourself. That's how you're going to save yourself. You trust in him. because the kingdom of God is at hand. You're still in Psalm. Go to Psalm 52. Go to chapter 52. Go to chapter 52. And let's read verse 7. Let's just read verse 7. 52 and 7. Go ahead.
Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness.
That's what happened. He strengthened himself in his wickedness because you think that is what's going to save you. That's not what's going to save you. I'm going to be okay because I have money. When this system really consumes you, didn't they say, like with the mark of the beast, you know, even the rich man, the poor man, great, small, all of them is going to serve?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I don't want any mark. I don't need that mark or whatever. I'm a multimillionaire. You don't take this mark, you don't eat. It's that simple. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Don't trust in your... That's not going to save you. Your obedience and your faith, that is what will save you. Let's go to Proverbs. It's just a book away. Proverbs. Next book, 11. Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11, and then we're going to move on. Okay? Proverbs 11, and read verse 28, brother. Proverbs 11, verse 28.
He that trusteth in his riches shall fall,
Mhm.
but the righteous shall flourish as a branch.
Yeah, because it's going to say, these are they who came out of great tribulation. Because they had faith. That's what saved them. But he that trusted in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. So I'm just telling you, increase your faith. Increase your faith, brothers and sisters. One more verse, and then we're going to get to the next seal. 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy. I want to give you an idea of the conditions of the times so we can prepare ourselves, okay? Getting educated on this, getting information, okay? Getting this is like putting on the armor of God. We have an understanding, kind of like when the world's going crazy and everything, and you actually understand what's going on, that kind of helps you because then you know how to act. You know what to do next, okay? But people panic when they have no idea, no clue what's going on. They panic. So that's why we're here learning, okay? So 1 Timothy chapter 6. 1 Timothy chapter 6. And let's look at 17. Start at verse 17. 1 Timothy 6, 17. Let the Bible speak.
Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
Now, I said trust in God, right? Because these riches are not going to save you. This is New Testament, so the same message, right? Okay, so he said charge them that are rich in this world. So think of all the multimillionaires and billionaires that you guys know or whatever. Their money's not going to save them. Okay, I'm not damning them to hell because I don't know their faith, but I am saying their money's not going to save them. Okay, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, you know, that's arrogant, proud, got the big head, right? Okay, high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God. Uncertain, interesting, because we're still talking about the economics, right? Uncertain riches or whatever. Well, let me say this the right way. Some people believe there's just going to be an economic collapse, right? So say you got $100 million. That's a pretty rich person, right? By the world standard. That's a pretty rich person. So you got about $100 million. Next week, dollar collapse, it's worth zero. How rich are they? And how certain is it if they can't control that? They can't control what it's worth. They got $100 million in the bank right now. Next week, it's worth zero. Oh, but that can't happen. Tell that to Germany. Yep. Tell that to Germany. Tell that to people who, at that time, was emptying out their bank accounts. They called it wheelbarrow money. to buy a loaf of bread. Wheelbarrow full of money. Here's all my savings. I need a loaf of bread. Tell that to anybody who's in the American Great Depression. Standing in soup lines. Oh, they had money. Just wasn't worth anything. This is what we're talking about, people. All these little things that happen. Okay, that's a microcosm. That's an example of the bigger picture that's going to happen on a global scale. Giving you a little test run of what's going to happen. All right, he said, charge them that are rich in this world that they be not high-minded nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God. You should trust in the living God who give us richly all things to enjoy. Verse 18.
That they do good, that they do good, that they be rich in good works.
Be rich in good works, not money. Be rich in good works. Go ahead.
Ready to distribute.
Yes.
Willing to communicate.
Go ahead.
Laying up and store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold upon, that they may lay hold on eternal life.
I thought you didn't have to do any works, but in verse 18 it says that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. So you're supposed to do some good works, so you have something to stand on against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. I thought you weren't supposed to do anything. Don't let someone tell you guys that. I'm telling you that you don't have to do anything. These three verses completely against that notion. Got to do something.
Even Paul said, renew your mind.
You got to renew your mind. In Jude, earnestly contend. Earnestly contend. That at least sounds like there's some effort in there, right? It at least sounds a little, you may not even be sure, but you're like, that sounds like some effort is in there. Earnestly contend, you know. Before you even go look up the definition, you're like, yeah, it sounds like you got to do something. Okay? So, sounds like it, okay? So now let's go ahead and go to this next seal real quick, brothers and sisters. Revelation 6. Revelation 6. So far we got on our board, for those who can't see this board on camera, we just wrote the first seal was false religion, the second seal is war, and the third seal deals with the economy. So we're going to go to the fourth seal. Okay? Revelation 6. Let's see. Revelation chapter 6. Yep. Revelation chapter 6, and it's going to be verse 7. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 7. Okay? Let's see what we have. This fourth seal. What does the fourth seal reveal to us? Let the Bible speak, brother.
And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
So look at what just happened. That right there, my friends, is the fourth seal. That's disease and pestilence. Can anybody think of some exotic diseases and pestilences and stuff we've heard of? Yeah, Zika virus, AIDS, anthrax, cancer. You heard of all these diseases? Weird, huh? Some of these diseases they didn't even deal with back then. Nope. So we're dealing with diseases. Really unheard. You know what's weird? Is that there are some diseases we have in America that other countries don't even really have. It's kind of weird that they don't really suffer from. Yeah. There's countries that they just don't have cancer. They just don't have it. It's just not part of their society. Could it be their food's different, their diet's a little different? Could it be? Is it possible? Yeah.
Man-made.
A lot of man-made stuff. I mean, half the time, let's just be honest, half the time we're not even eating real food. So, we have a bunch of carcinogens in our foods, cancer-causing agents, that is.
So that lettuce created in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
That lettuce in
Oh
5
yeah, I
minutes.
saw that lettuce. Created lettuce. Poof. Little green solution.
Right before your eyes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it being done. A little green solution or whatever. Looks like, putting it in water. Looks like cold water, green solution in there. And then they just kind of dip their hand in the middle of it, pick it up, and just, and it's lettuce. And then they cut it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You're like, what was that? That was lettuce. Is there a chance that lettuce was on your hamburger once?
Yeah.
Scary.
It's all about saving money.
Yeah. Yeah, production. Quicker, cheaper, faster. Yeah. Putting hormones in our cows and stuff. I mean, I saw this cow, I saw a video, not even a picture. This cow was like rocked up, like muscles, like, it looked painful. It was so rocked up. I mean, it was a big white cow, and it was just like, he was the Debo of all cows. I'm telling you. He was just, it was like, it was scary. It was scary. It was. Seeing chickens all on hormones and stuff, just rolling up, looking like Rockwilders. Just, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I mean, it makes you wonder: is our food food? Is it? It's scary. Diseases. We're causing a bunch of it ourselves. Man-made diseases. We're causing ourselves. Yeah. Architects of our own design, of our own demise. So when we look at the other seal, we're talking about war and all that and everything, we don't know peace or whatever. I mean, we're finding creative ways to kill ourselves. Let's keep looking. So that is about disease. So let's go to Jeremiah. Did we read verse 8? Yes, we did. So Jeremiah 17 and 14. Let's look at this a little bit. So, because we should be trusting in, Christ being our healer. See, he didn't want us to depend on our money. He don't want us to depend on the fact that, hey, I go to the gym every now and again, or I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling good. Don't depend on that. Okay? So he wants us to be our sufficiency. It's all about him. Okay? So Jeremiah 17. And don't take that to me, Pastor Rob said I shouldn't work out. I didn't say that. You can work out. I'm just saying, don't trust in your workout. Don't trust in your gym membership, just like you don't trust in your bank account. Okay? So Jeremiah 17, let's just read 14, just one verse right there, 14.
Heal me, O Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and I shall be healed.
Yes.
Save me, and I shall be saved.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art my praise.
Is that not all our... These should be our words right there. These should be our words. Matter of fact, let's just read that corporately on 3. We're going to read, all of us going to read that verse right there, 17 and 14. 1, 2, 3. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. For thou art my praise. That's exactly that's our attitude. That's what we should have. In the time to come and all this stuff we know that's going on around us, that's your prayer. That's part of your prayer right there. Should be. Part of your prayer right there, 1 Peter. Let's go to 1 Peter. No, I'll get that, brother. I'll get it. So 1 Peter 2, the next verse after that, in Jeremiah 17 and 15, said, Behold, they say unto me, where is the word of the Lord? Let it come now. Yeah. They need to stop testing the Lord like that. Oh boy. As for me, verse 16, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee. Amen, amen. Neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest. That which came out of my lips was right before thee. So I'm just going to say what thus says the Lord. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to do what I got to do. And 17.
I was gonna say-
Be not a terror unto me, talking about the Lord. Be not a terror unto me. Thou art my hope in the day of evil. It's coming. You see how the pastors and the prophets and the apostles, they're thinking like us. Or at least the way they're thinking, we should be thinking like them.
I'm beginning to think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. They seem to know what's going on. They kind of, it seems like they have insight. It just kind of seems that way, right? It's coming. It is coming. 1 Peter 2. And I want to pick it up at verse 20. 1 Peter 2 and 20, if you will, brother. Go ahead.
For what glory is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently?
Mm-hmm.
But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God.
Yes.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
So you're going to go through a few things, brothers and sisters. You're going to go through some things, but accept it patiently. Okay? He went through some things. He went through some things that he was not guilty of. He went through some things that was not his fault, but he paid it for you and me. Okay? So deal with the little problems you have today. Deal with it, okay? Go to the next verse, brother.
Who did no sin,
He did no sin.
neither was guile found in his mouth.
Go ahead.
Who, when he was reviled not again.
Mm-hmm.
When he suffered, he threatened not,
Mm-hmm.
but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously.
Go ahead, brother.
Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree,
Mm-hmm.
that we, being dead to sins, should live under righteousness.
Yes, we should live unto righteousness. Go ahead.
By whose stripes ye were healed.
We are healed by his stripes. But let's go ahead. It's just one more verse. Read verse 25, brother.
For ye were as sheep going astray,
Yes, we were.
but are now returned unto the shepherd
Uh-huh.
and bishop of your souls.
The shepherd and bishop of our souls. We don't hear that title a lot, but it's a nice one too. The bishop of our souls. The life giver. The one that, if he doesn't give you eternal life, you don't have eternal life. The bishop of our souls. Jeremiah 33. Got a couple of more places before we go to the next seal. Jeremiah 33 real quick. You guys still with me?
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah 33 and 6. Okay? Jeremiah 33 and 6. One verse and then we'll move to James. Jeremiah 33 and 6. Go ahead, brother.
Behold, I will bring it health and cure,
Mhm.
and I will cure them.
Yes.
And I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth.
Yes, sir. Amen, amen. Let's go to James 5. James 5. James 5. We want this cure. James 5, and we're going to pick it up a couple of verses. We're going to pick it up at 14. James 5 and 14. Because pretty soon there's going to be a time where, you know, we can't go run off to the hospital because it's going to be way too tragic for that. So, James 5, we're just going to go with what the Bible prescribes for us to do. So, James 5, pick it up at verse 14. Go ahead.
Is any sick among you?
Uh-huh.
Let him call for the elders of the church,
Mhm.
and let them pray over him,
Mhm.
anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Yes.
And the prayer of the faith shall save the sick,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord shall raise him up.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had committed any sins, they shall be forgiven him.
Yes. Go ahead.
Confess your faults one to another,
Mm-hmm.
and pray one for another,
Mm-hmm.
that ye may be healed.
Yes.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Yes. So when we're trying to do right and we're together in community and stuff, and it might be a time where we just can't go run over to Walgreens for a prescription, we can't go to the hospital or something like that, we're going to have to come together corporately and pray for one another. This is instruction by the Bible, right?
Sir.
So it's not something you're just making up. It just says, hey, we're trying to go God's way, and we have a brother or sister or a child sick. We can't go run down to the hospital. We need to pray for them. Do the best we can and pray, because we know who's really doing the healing. Because the time is going to come where we can't do what we do now. trying to get you ready, trying to get you prepared, so that when that days come, you don't panic. Oh no, I can't go to the hospital. Oh no, I can't call an ambulance. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, you're going to be in the heart of that seal. Heart of that seal. So let's go one more place, and then we're going to go to the next seal, Matthew 10. Let's go to Matthew 10, and then we'll go to the next seal. Matthew 10. We're going to deal with this one more spot, and then we'll move on. Matthew chapter 10. And we'll start it at the first verse. Matthew 10, go at the first verse. 10 and 1. 10 and 1, let the Bible speak.
And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out.
And do what else?
And to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Oh, we're going to need that.
Yes,
James even said that, so yeah, we're going to need that. Go ahead.
Now the names of the 12 apostles are these. The first, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus.
Go ahead.
Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him.
Yes.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Go ahead.
But rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, The kingdom of heaven is at hand.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now, what else? What else did they do, brother? Go ahead.
Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead,
Go ahead.
cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Okay, go ahead.
Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor eat staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat.
Okay, whatever you work for, you deserve to get. But look at all of the look at the things that he was talking about. So don't get any gold, any silver, and the scripts, and extra shoes, and all this other stuff. Okay, don't depend on that stuff. You see that? Don't depend on all that stuff. There's a bigger lesson there. Don't depend on all that stuff. The money, okay, and your raiment and all that. Don't worry about it. Just go and preach what you work for. You deserve. That's what you're gonna get. Same thing we've been talking about, and you're really gonna see something later on when we break down when we finish breaking down these seals. You're gonna see something else. But they're supposed to heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. Don't take money with you. Huh. Interesting. It's really, yeah. We need to think about that. We need to meditate on these type of things. The time is coming, okay? Dress rehearsal. Time is coming. He let us see it. A little small example. And now, why? So the spirit of truth, when it happens, it comes to your mind. You think, oh, I read something about this. Right? All these Bible stories come back to your mind, come rushing back to your consciousness by way of the Holy Spirit. It's the spirit of truth. And you remember, you're like, oh, that's why you got to get the word in you. That's why it's got to be inside. Not just memorization. It's not that. It's internalizing it.
Be part of you.
Yeah, part of you. Part of you. Like Christ was walking, talking, living, breathing Torah. You're supposed to be like that too. That's the example. That's what we need to get out here. That's what we need. Let's go to the next seal. Revelation 6. Revelation 6. And we're going to go back and pick it back up at verse 9 for the 5th seal. Verse 9. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what happens in the 5th seal. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the 5th seal,
What happened?
I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held.
Okay.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying,
Mhm.
How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Okay, go ahead.
And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season,
Why?
until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Wow, wait a minute. Wait. There are people who have died in the past. There are people who have died for the testimony and the word of God. And then he said, no, okay, wait a minute. Well, I'm not going to, avenge you just yet. Hold on, because there's other brethren, other believer, other saints that have to die like you for all this to be fulfilled. So this fifth seal, we're talking about suffering saints. It explains itself, right? We're talking about people who suffer. Suffering saints, okay? And we're talking about good people because they're talking about God, right? They're talking to God. We're talking about, okay? So we're talking about suffering saints, okay? So we're talking about suffering saints. All right? So that's one thing that we have to remember. That's what this other seal is. And you have to ask yourself whether the Israelites knew that they were Israel or not. Since the first century, has there not been a lot of suffering? You kick that off in 70 AD, that was a whole lot of suffering. You go to the west coast of Africa, that was a whole lot of suffering. You don't even have to go that far. You can go to Trans-Sahara slave trade, that was a whole lot of suffering. And not just that, not just Israel, okay, not just Israel, but people who just believed, because even when you go back into church history, there's people who just simply believed the Bible and they got killed for it. Roman Colosseums, you believed in Christ, you were entertainment. You fought bears and lions and stuff, Roman Colosseums and things like that. A lot of suffering, huh? A lot of suffering. I mean, there's countries right now in present day where the Bible's outlawed. You go to jail if you have a Bible in other countries. Some countries, some of them.
Considered contraband in airports.
Yeah,
too.
contraband. You can't have a Bible. Some people risk it, and they have it, and they go to jail or get killed. Now, I know there's Sunday churches and stuff, but didn't we hear about things, churches being blown up in other countries and stuff, set on fire and stuff, people in the church? So there's going to be some suffering. Because, see, some people are, they may not necessarily be on the right path or whatever, but they're sincerely seeking. That's where your grace come in. I'm trying to find out about God. And you got killed for it. So they get a chance. I was looking for you, and someone snuffed them out. I was looking for the Lord, and I got snuffed out. You get some grace for that. You're trying. You have a lot of suffering saints right here. A lot of persecution right here. That's the seal that opened up. He was saying, okay, when Christ got back up to heaven and opened up these seals, those are the things that have been rolling out. And it just got worse and worse and worse. It's going to get even worse coming up. When you're challenged to deny your God and deny what you believe, it's going to get even worse. Heck, it's going to be some people who call themselves believers, and they're going to betray you. Because you guys don't believe the same. Because truthfully, you don't serve the same God. That time is coming. And we're going to read that too. That time is coming. So we're talking about suffering saints. And it may be someone really close to, let's go to Matthew 10. Matthew 10. Already started in the first century and just got worse until that tea kettle starts to boil and whistle. That's how long it's going to be. Chapter 10. Verse 34. Chapter 10. Matthew 10, 34. Let the Bible speak.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
And what's going to happen?
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Go ahead.
And a man's foes shall be of they of his own household.
So some people really close to you will betray you. Were you not just reading a scripture over in the Psalms where David was talking about treachery, people he broke bread with, went to church with, and all this other stuff right there in Psalms? Same thing. What was that, 55? Psalm 55? Yeah, Psalm 55. Lot of treachery going on. One of their own household. So I know a lot of you guys out there, just addressing, the camera. I know you guys, a lot of you guys out there, you come into this truth, you're trying to learn, you're trying to get it, and you get excited. You, hey, oh man, I was lied to. Now I'm starting to understand. The word is coming alive. The Most High is dealing with me now. Thank you, God. And you want to share it with your family. You want to share it with your friends, and something happens. They don't receive it with the same zeal you did. And they start to think that you're crazy. And they start to reason within themselves, how can everybody else be wrong and you got it right? And now you guys are set at variance. Oh, I'm married and, I'm giving up Christmas, but my wife didn't want to give it up. I told my husband, I'm not going to do Easter, and he says, you must be crazy. We're doing Easter. We did it all the time. I told my sister, we're not going to do pork anymore and all that. And it was like, we were raised on that. Are you crazy? We're going to keep doing it. I'm having it tonight. Your own household. Because when you get good news, the first thing you do, you share it with the people closest to you. Typically. Why? Because the Lord sit that right there in front of us, and somebody's got to make a decision. That is what's going on. And if you decide to walk in the way of the truth, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You just made a decision to seek out truth. And now that you've done that, have the courage of your convictions. Because you will be persecuted. Let's continue. Go ahead, brother.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Go ahead.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
That's how it goes. Go ahead.
And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
Amen, amen. Go ahead.
He that receiveth you receiveth me.
Yep.
And he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. I was going to... We can go with that whole multiple God thing. But anyway, it's just... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know some viewers would be like, "What? Why does that tickle him so much?" or whatever. So anyway... I'll just, so I don't digress. Verse 40 says, he that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receive him that sent me. That's an inside joke. Go ahead, brother. 41.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward.
Now, to get a real understanding of that, you got to go look at the crowns and stuff. Laid up for me a crown of righteousness and all this other stuff. The one who saves souls and things like that. There's like 5 different crowns, 4 or 5 crowns that you can get in the Bible. So that's what he means there. But that's a different study. Go ahead in 42, brother.
And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
Amen. So you bring somebody into this truth, you get a reward. Okay, you soul's winner's crown. But anyway, I don't want to digress on that. Okay, but this word, this truth, divides households. Okay. And it's going to cause some people to suffer. And it's going to cause some people to betray one another. That's what's going to happen. So let's go to John 17. Let's look at this real quick. John 17. John 17, and I want to pick it up at verse 6. John 17, verse 6. 17 and 6, and when you get there, brother, let the Bible speak.
I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Thine they were, and thou gavest them me.
Mm-hmm.
And they have kept thy word.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me
Mhm.
are of thee.
Yes.
For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me,
Mm-hmm.
and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from thee,
Mm-hmm.
and they have believed that thou did send me.
Okay, so again, over and over, right? I mean, it's just, anyway. So let's drop down to 14, brother. Let's drop down to 14. Go ahead.
I have given them thy word,
Mm-hmm.
and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world,
Mm-hmm.
even as I am not of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world.
Wait. Hey, you see? So now you wonder why you have to suffer. Okay? He just said, I pray not that thou should take them out of the world. But what? Go ahead. So no rapture. I don't pray. Oh, no, that's later. No, rapture ain't coming later either. Okay? It's not coming. Okay? It's just not coming. All right? But I pray not that thou should take them out of the world, but that go ahead.
But that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
Go ahead, brother.
They are not of the world,
Mhm.
even as I am not of the world.
Amen.
Sanctify them through thy truth.
Uh-huh.
Thy word is truth.
Thy word is truth. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. Okay? That's John 17:17. Let's go to John 16. Go back one chapter for me. 16. Okay? John 16. Let's see what else is going to happen in this persecution. John 16, pick it up at verse 1, brother.
These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended.
Uh-huh.
They shall put you out of the synagogues.
Mhm.
Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you
Mhm.
will think that he doeth God's service.
Think about that. Have you guys considered that? That someone could kill you and think they're doing God's service.
Yeah.
Paul did. He was killing a bunch of them at this time. You know, I mean, a little after John, but you know what I'm saying, after the Gospels. He was killing a whole bunch of believers, a bunch of messianics, and thought he was doing God a favor. Yep. Let me get rid of these heretics. And the same thing's going to happen. Because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to think that they're righteous, okay? But they don't serve the same God you serve, but they're going to think that they're righteous, and they want to exterminate you because you're the problem. It's going to happen. That they shall put you out of the synagogues, yea, the time cometh, okay, that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. Verse 3.
And these things will they do unto you,
Mhm.
because they have not known the Father
Mhm.
nor me.
Go ahead. It's over and over and over. Dude, I remember I said earlier, dude's still cooking. He's still cooking the guy. Go ahead.
But these things have I told you,
Mhm.
that when the time shall come,
Mhm.
ye may remember that I had told you of them.
Mm-hmm.
And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you.
See, I didn't say him at first because I was with you, okay? But this is, coming towards the end when he's not going to be with them anymore. But he said, I didn't tell you at first because I was with you. But, now you need to know that, okay? But, verse 5, still cooking. So go ahead. We're going to do verse 5. Go ahead. Let's cook a little bit on 5.
But now I go my way to him that sent me.
Uh-huh.
And none of you asketh me, whither goest thou?
Okay, we're going to leave it alone. To him that sent me. So move it on. We're gonna move on. Go to 2 Timothy 3. 2 Timothy 3, if you will. I feel bad if I don't tell people, kind of like what we're talking about. Basically, in brief, okay, I had a debate, and it was called, how many gods are there in heaven? My opponent says that there's only Jesus, and that is it. There's only Jesus, always has been Jesus, always will be Jesus, and no matter what, it is just Jesus. On the throne, at his right hand, all that is just Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And of course, my position was that there is more than one God. He said, okay, is Jesus God or is Jesus a God? I said, Jesus is a God. He talked to the Father all the time. And we keep running into scriptures that suggest that there's more than one God, or that at least Jesus was sent by someone. So we find that a little humorous. So 2 Timothy 3.
He didn't come in his own will either.
Yeah, I didn't come in my own will. So, you know, my opponent. Yeah, my opponent said there was a shell of himself still sitting on the throne. It's not him, but it was like a shell. So he came down here, and that was, I guess, there's a comatose shell just sitting on the throne. And I don't know. I don't know. You got to listen to the debate. I mean, 2 Timothy 3. Go look at the debate. 2 Timothy 3. And let's pick it up at verse 1. Pick it up at verse 1.
This
Okay.
know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
What's going to happen in the last days, brother?
For men shall be lovers of their own selves,
Mm-hmm.
covetous,
Mhm.
boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful,
Mhm.
unholy,
Go ahead.
without natural affection,
Mm-hmm.
truce breakers, false accusers,
Mhm.
incontinent,
Incontinent. Mhm.
fierce despisers of those that are good,
They're going to hate you. Go ahead.
traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God,
Go ahead.
having a form of godliness,
Mhm.
but denying the power thereof.
Mhm.
From such turn away.
So he gave us some direction. He says, from such turn away, because these people are going to act like that. And when he says have a form of godliness, some of these people are going to be religious folks. We're not talking about drug kingpins. Okay? He's not talking about that. That's minor. He's talking about people have a form of godliness. It kind of, sort of. A drug kingpin don't have a form of godliness. But a person with a nice little, a nice little suit with crosses and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, that seem like they got a form of godliness. Verse 6, brother.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses
Mhm.
and lead captive silly women laden with sins,
Mhm.
led away with diverse lusts,
Yep.
ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Go ahead.
Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses,
Mhm.
so do these also resist the truth.
Go ahead.
Men of corrupt minds.
What else?
Reprobate concerning the faith.
Can't change their mind. Reprobates concerning the faith. Go ahead.
But they shall proceed no further,
Mhm.
for their folly shall be manifest unto all men,
Go ahead.
as theirs also was.
Go ahead. Verse 10.
But thou hast fully known my doctrine,
Mhm.
manner of life,
Mhm.
purpose, faith, long suffering,
Mhm.
charity, patience,
Mhm.
persecutions, afflictions, which come unto me at Antioch,
Mhm.
at Iconium,
Mhm.
at Lystra, what persecutions I endured.
Uh-huh.
But out of them all the Lord delivered me.
Mhm.
Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution.
All of us can show what? Read that again.
Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus
Mhm.
shall suffer persecution.
Okay, in verse 13, there's a little bonus there. Go ahead.
But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse,
Mhm.
deceiving and being deceived.
That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen in these days. Because at the beginning, he said, in the last days, in verse 1. All these things we just read and described, in the last days, that's going to happen. And here we are in the 5th seal, living in it. The next seal to come is the 6th seal. And I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, you're not going to like it. Because we're going to get a vivid description of what the 6th seal is. You don't want that, but it's going to happen. So the best thing for you to do is be prepared and understand and to be able to discern the signs of the times. That's the best thing you can do. Let's go to Revelation 6 real quick. Let's go to the 6th seal. Revelation 6. Revelation 6, and we're going to go to verse 12. The 6th seal. Okay, on the board, for those who on the camera, on the board I wrote heavenly signs. So where are we right now? Let's just quick little recap before we go into the six seals. We're going to be at Revelation 6, and we're going to start at verse 12, okay? First seal, false religion. Second, war. Third, economy, okay? Like an economic downfall, economic collapse. This is going to be on a global scale. Everyone will be affected, in other words. Seal 4 is disease, pestilence, the Bible would probably call it. Verse 5 is the suffering saints, okay? That's where we are now. Now we're going to go to verse 6. Or the sixth seal. I keep saying verse. The sixth seal, okay? So Revelation 6, let's pick it up at verse 12, and let's look at the sixth seal, okay? Verse 12. And when you get there, brother, let the Bible speak.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal,
Mm-hmm.
and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair,
Mm-hmm.
and the moon became as blood.
Okay.
And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth,
Mm-hmm.
even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs
Mm-hmm.
when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Now, some people say, oh, that's just symbolism. That's just a metaphor. It's just symbolism. No. He gave you a real description, and he stuck a symbolism in there. And I'll show you right here. He says, okay, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. Earthquake is real. And the sun became black as sackcloth. That part was real. And the moon became as blood. That part is real. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. That part is real. Even as a fig tree, there's your symbolism. There's your metaphor. Exactly. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So has anybody, had shook a tree, maybe the branch of it, to, shake the leaves off or shake a fruit off or something like that. So there's your metaphor. Okay. He's just trying to give you a picture. Okay. It's time. The time is right. It is ripe. It is time. That's what he's doing. So he says, so there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Verse 14, brother.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when
Okay.
it is rolled together.
Okay, so as a scroll, that's symbolism, but the heaven is really going to depart. The atmosphere open up. They say our atmosphere is thin like a dime. Okay, so that's going to crack open. Okay. So that's what he's talking about. Now, it won't be a scroll in the sky, but the symbolism is going to open up like a scroll. Okay? So go ahead.
And every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Yeah, that's a strong earthquake. Moving out of their place. Go ahead, brother.
And the kings of the earth,
Mhm.
and the great men, and the rich men,
Uh-huh.
and the chief captains,
Mhm.
and the mighty men,
Mhm.
and every bondman, and every freeman,
Mhm.
hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the
Mhm.
mountains.
Go ahead.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us,
Mhm.
and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne,
Mhm.
and from the wrath of the Lamb.
And the wrath of the Lamb. Wow. And the wrath. Yeah. Trying to hide us from the wrath of the Lamb. Okay, verse 17, brother.
For the great day of his wrath is come,
Mhm.
and who shall be able to
Who's
stand?
going to make it out of that? This is sixth seal. Who's going to make it out of that? Let's look at a little bit more of this picture that he gives us. Okay? Let's look at it a little bit more, and let's see if other writers in the Bible had the same picture, right? Let's see if there's some agreement. Go to Isaiah 13. Let's see if we can get some agreement from other people. Go to Isaiah 13, and we'll read verse 9 and 10. Isaiah 13. Okay? Isaiah 13. Okay? And let's look at that and start it at verse 9, brother, if you got it. Go ahead.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh,
Mm-hmm.
cruel both with wrath and fierce anger,
Mhm.
to lay the land desolate,
Mhm.
and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Go ahead.
For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light,
Mhm.
and the sun shall be darkened in
Mhm.
his going forth,
Mhm.
and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
Wow, okay, so we got a dark sun and the moon stop shining or turn into blood. Constellations, the stars falling out of the sky. 2 agreements so far, right? We got 2 agreements. Let's get another one. Go to Joel. Let's go to Joel. Because some people say, oh, well, this already happened. Really? Really? Oh, this has already happened? Let's take a look at this. Joel 2. Okay? Joel 2. All right. Go to Joel 2, and I want to pick it up at verse 10. Joel 2 and verse 10. Joel 2 and verse 10. Okay? Joel 2 and 10. Let's look at that. Joel 2 and 10. Forgive me for walking off camera, but I do at least tell you what I'm writing over there. I just erase the board because I'm going to put something else up there. So we're talking about this. We're talking about the sun. So I'm just writing sun, moon, and stars. Okay, so go ahead and read verse 10 in Joel 2. Go ahead.
The earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble.
Mm-hmm.
The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Okay, you got sun, moon, stars. Okay? Something's going to happen. So we're talking about heavenly signs. Seal 6, heavenly signs. Sun, moon, stars. You read it in Revelation. We just got it out of Isaiah. We're in Joel right now. You're still in Joel 2, so skip down to verse 30. Verse 30. Go ahead. Joel 2, verse 30.
And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
What else?
The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes.
Something is coming. He says, I'm on my way. Now, he dealt with, well, we got the stars in the other one, in the other verse, but still, we still got moon, sun and moon right here. Again, so sun, moon, stars, we got agreement. Still not done. Okay, you read 31. Okay, so we're in Joel. Go to Joel 3. Just go to the next chapter. Read one verse there. One verse. Sun, moon, stars. Joel 3, read verse 15, brother.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
It's just like falling out of heaven. And the constellations will fall out of heaven and stuff like that. Same thing. Sun, moon, stars. This happened already? Sun, moon, stars. Because some people, oh, it's all fulfilled. It's all done. You can believe that if you want. I don't think so. Not yet. I think we're moving towards the sixth seal. I think we're fast approaching the sixth seal. But we're not done. Go to Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah. We got sun, moon, stars again. So let's look at Zephaniah. Up a few books, 3, 4 books. Zephaniah 1. Okay, Zephaniah 1, and give me verse 15, verse 15 and 16. Zephaniah 1, verse 15. Go ahead, brother.
That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Go ahead.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
It's funny how after all these bad things happen, then it's going to be a day of trumpets. Interesting. After the seals, there's going to be a day of trumpets. Day, period of time. So there's going to be a day of trumpets after this. So it's kind of giving us a description. So if the sun's going to be darkened and the moon won't give its light and the stars, you at least won't be able to see them and stuff like that. When he describes it, it's going to be a day of wrath, because you remember earthquakes and things like that. It's going to be a day of wrath, so that's going to be bad. A day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, destruction. And it's going to be dark and gloomy and clouds and thick darkness. It's going to look really bad, though, wouldn't it? I mean, that's going to be a result of all these natural calamities and these other things that hasn't happened yet with the sun, the moon, and the stars. It's going to look really bad. Sun, moon, stars. We're not done because we did 16. Go to Ezekiel 32. Sun, moon, stars. Over and over and over. Sun, moon, stars. Day of destruction, desolation, gloominess, thick darkness. Ezekiel. Ezekiel 32. In verse 6 to be exact. Ezekiel 32 in verse 6. And we're going to read 6 and 7. 32 and 6. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of thee.
What else?
And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and make the stars thereof dark.
Mm-hmm.
I will cover the sun with a cloud,
Mhm.
and the moon shall not give her light.
Does that sound like the same thing? Sun, moon, stars. This is going to be a great day. This is prophecy. And I mean awe-inspiring when I say a great day. An awe-inspiring day. When most people are running around and like, oh, telling the rocks, fall on us. Something bad's going to happen. It's coming. It is coming. And I like the way Amos puts it. So go to Amos for me. We got 2 spots in Amos, and then we're going to move on.
Can I read the next verse?
Go ahead.
All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee,
Oh, yeah.
and set darkness upon thy land,
Mhm.
saith the Lord God.
Thus says the Lord God. That went with it really well. This is a description, okay? He's describing what's it going to look like. If it wasn't a description, all this would be pointless. It'd be pointless to tell us that. He's trying to tell you, okay, this is what it's going to be like. But no, that's just a metaphor. That's just not really. I mean, come on. Come on. This would be pointless. I mean, if it's not going to be like that, then you say, oh, it's going to be a bad day. And a lot of people are going to be sad. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This is going to be bad. He's really trying to drive the point home that it's going to be pretty ugly. Yeah. He's telling us so far we got about sun, moon, stars about 3-4 times so far. I got in my notes at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me go to Amos 5. So, yeah, I got about 5 times already. Sun, moon, stars. Sun, moon, stars. It's going to be dark. It's going to be bad. A lot of bad things going to happen. And then he buttoned it up with, thus said the Lord. Okay, so 5 and 20. Amos 5 and 20. Go ahead, brother.
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
He's asking questions. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? Go ahead.
Even very dark, and no brightness in it?
Okay, so that's a vivid description. But we're going to finish. You're in Amos, so go to Amos, go to chapter 8 and verse 9. Okay, so go to Amos 8 and verse 9. And I think he answers his own question a couple chapters later. Go ahead. Amos 8, verse 9. What does that say?
And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day.
In the middle of the day, it's going to get dark. Period. Period. Now, is the picture clear to you? It should be. Should be pretty clear now.
So like that little snippet of when Jesus died, the earthquake and everything turned dark. That's a little.
That's it.
A little
There you go. Just a little. That's a little sample right there when he died. The light got put out because he's the light of the world. So it got a little dark in the middle of the day. Didn't stay that way because he's alive. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. He's the way, the truth, and the life. So he is the light of the world. So let's go to Matthew 24. Now, we're going to discover, because I told you guys we're going to read Matthew 24. We're going to go to Matthew 24. We're going to read that and look at, and we're going to read it through, and it should click to you like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He was trying to tell us something bigger the whole time? Matthew 24. Matthew 24, and we're going to pick it up. Really, verse 2, Matthew 24, verse 2. Now, before we read this, remember what we have read so far in the seals, okay? We read about false religion. We read about war, disease, pestilence, earthquakes, persecution of the saints, all in those seals, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
We covered all that. And then we covered a little bit of the darkness that's coming over the world. Now let's read Matthew 24. Verse 2, brother. Go ahead.
And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down.
Go ahead, brother.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
That's one question.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming
2 questions.
and the end of the world?
The 3rd question. Now he's going to answer all of them. These are separate questions because they're answered at different times. Okay, so go ahead, brother.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
False religion. Go ahead.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ,
Mhm.
and shall deceive many.
Go ahead. And what else is going to happen?
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Is he talking about the 2nd seal? Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Still talking about wars. Verse 7.
For the nation shall rise against nation,
War.
and kingdom against kingdom,
War.
and there shall be famines and pestilences,
Wait. He's talking about another seal?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Uh-huh.
All these things are the beginning of sorrows.
Go ahead.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted,
He's talking about persecution? Wait a minute. Go ahead. Go
and
ahead.
shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Go ahead, brother.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another,
Mm-hmm.
and shall hate one another.
Go ahead.
And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
The whole time you're still going to be in false religion. While you have pestilence, people killing each other, you still got it all wrapped around with false religion and stuff. All this is going to be going on. You know, kind of like now. Go ahead.
And because iniquity shall abound,
Mhm.
the love of many shall wax cold.
Go ahead.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Hallelujah. Go ahead.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
Okay, now he was dealing with he was just giving us all those seals. You know, the same ones when he went up there and he opened them up. So he kind of knew what he was talking about. Okay. Then he's going to get, again, this whole series is about about the end of days. So we're going to get into the 3rd temple, the abomination of desolation and all that stuff. We won't get into it this week, but we're going to get into it. Stick with us with this series. We're going to get into that. But we have to start from the 1st century, right there with the Messiah, right there. Ascending up, going up there, opening the seals, and right here we're discovering he was talking about him the whole time while he was here. It's like he's saying, you know, I'm going to go up there and all these things are going to happen when I go back to heaven. Continue, brother. Now 15. Now we're moving into something else. Go ahead.
And when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation
Mhm.
spoken of by Daniel the prophet,
And that's really doing trumpets. But go ahead.
stand in the holy place,
Mhm.
whoso readeth, let him understand.
And go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Mm-hmm.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
See, 70 AD was a microcosm. Just an example of what happened. When Rome came and surrounded Jerusalem and trapped them in there, tried to starve them out, tried to burn them out and all that other stuff and start killing them and everything. And then when you start seeing these people, when you see Jerusalem encompassed about and all that, don't go back inside. Run. Run. Just a microcosm. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Go ahead.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Mm-hmm.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter,
Mhm.
neither on the Sabbath day.
Yeah, see, the Sabbath, at this time, he's saying this, and the Sabbath not even supposed to matter anymore. Apparently it does. Go ahead.
For then shall be great tribulation,
Mhm.
such as was not since the beginning of the world
Yep.
to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And except those days shall be shortened,
Mm-hmm.
there shall no flesh be saved.
Mhm.
But for the elect's sake,
Mhm.
those days shall be shortened.
See, we're talking about this tribulation starting at the 6th seal, because that's where you get the signs in heaven, and that's when you know everything is different. Okay, the world is not going to be status quo, business as usual. It's going to be a little bit different because we're going to be heading into tribulation. We hadn't even got to trumpets yet, but we will. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Then if any man shall say unto you,
Mhm.
Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
Mm-hmm. False
For-
religion. Go ahead.
For there shall arise false Christs
Mhm.
and false prophets,
Mhm.
and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Go ahead, brother.
Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not.
Don't believe that, because you're going to have all this false prophets, false religions, all these false ideology and stuff. Okay, Christ is over here. Oh, the Messiah, he's returned. He's come. Bottom line is, no one will have to tell you. Proof of that? Next verse.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
And that's at the last trump. So he kind of jumped around a little bit, because everything's not in chronological order, but he jumped around a little bit, okay? But all these things have to happen first, then he shows up. Continue, brother.
For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be the eagles be gathered together.
What's going to happen after the tribulation?
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Go ahead, brother.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Now we know he's going to do it at the last trump, because we can go to Corinthians and Thessalonians and stuff. We know it's at the last trump. So it's not in exact order, but it's really, really close. So 31, brother, go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet.
Interesting. Go ahead.
And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds.
Go ahead.
From one end of heaven to the other.
Go ahead, brother.
Now learn a parable of the fig tree.
Didn't we read that whole fig tree thing in Revelation? So this all goes together. It is not that hard to understand. It really isn't. Go ahead.
When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh.
Go ahead.
So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors.
Drop down. Let's skip down a little bit, because we covered so much. Go to 44. Drop down to 44. This is for us. Go ahead. Drop down to 44. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh.
Go ahead.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season?
Yes, sir, and yes, sir. And 46, this is for us. Go ahead.
Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Doing. He didn't just say believing and just sitting there and wishing and hoping. Doing. And he's explaining this after all that bad stuff he said is going to happen. Look what he says.
Endure to the end.
Endure to the end, and blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he comes, shall find so doing. Even, Lord, come. Even so, Lord, come. Despite all that bad stuff that's going to happen, I still want you to come, because I want you to collect me when you come. Pick me up. You going to be at the bus stop? You're going to have, like you would say, you're going to have your T-shirt on? I'm with you, Lord. I'm with you. That's what we're talking about, right? Now, we did 6 seals. We did, 6 seals. And you read 46, because that's for us. I wanted to end it right there. Let's go to Revelation 7 and start wrapping this part up, because we really only got 2 more places we need to go. So we're going to go Revelation 7 and we're going to go Revelation 8. And then we will close out this part, or this leg of the series, End of Days. Revelation 7. Revelation 7, verse 1. And when you get there, let's keep it moving so we can finish up. Revelation 7 and 1.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind shall not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Go ahead.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Go ahead.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Yeah, so there's a certain amount of people that more calamity is about to happen, but certain individuals will have to be sealed, because these people are going to serve God. This is part of his government. This is part of his gut, people who are going to have instructions and going to carry that out. So when all these things are happening, they'll be okay. They will live through that. Okay, this is 144,000. So let's go ahead and read it. Go ahead.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed,
Mm-hmm.
and there were sealed 144,000 of
Mhm.
all the tribes of the children of Israel.
And they're going to be all the tribes. See, to the Jew first, to the Gentile. So 144,000 of Israel will be sealed. Go ahead, brother.
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000.
Mhm.
Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
Mhm.
Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And of the tribe of Aser were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Nephthalim were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number,
Mm-hmm.
of all nations
Mhm.
and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and
Mhm.
before the Lamb, clothed with white robes
Mhm.
and palms in their hands.
Clothes and right made righteous. Their sin was forgiven. These white robes is that righteousness of Christ. Okay, lot of people which couldn't be numbered. Okay, and palms in their hand, and said what?
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God,
Mhm.
which sitteth upon the throne,
And what else?
unto the Lamb.
And unto the Lamb. Okay, the throne of God and unto the Lamb. Now we got one more place and we're done. Go to the next chapter, Revelation 8. Revelation 8. Okay. Now, remember, all those seals, I want you guys to notice something. All those seals, they were one after the other. Even though we moved around a little bit, they were all in Revelation 6. We got 6 seals. There were 7, but we got 6 seals, all in Revelation 6. None in Revelation 7. We got to go to Revelation 8 to get the last seal. Now, let's see what that seal is. See, there's a period of time. And when we go through the trumpets, you're going to see that too. You're going to get through the six of the 7 trumpets pretty rapidly. 1 trumpet, 2 trumpet, 3 trumpet, all the way to 6. Big pause. And then you get to 7 trumpets. Same thing with the seals. Because a period of time, things are going on in the heavens we cannot see. Things are happening. And then they're going to resume. So now we go to Revelation 8. Pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the 7th seal,
Mhm.
there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Okay, and what happened?
And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets.
Oh, okay. So he opened the 7th seal. It was silent for the space of about half an hour. And then he saw 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. So contained in the 7th sealed are 7 trumpets. Go ahead.
And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense,
Mhm.
that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar,
Mhm.
which was before the throne.
Go ahead.
And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints.
And just by the way, that's what the incense they stand for. They symbolizes our prayers. Okay, you see that symbol. We saw the symbolism twice, and then you look in the Old Testament. They had incense and things like that. It symbolizes our prayers going up to God. Okay, go ahead.
And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints
Mhm.
ascended up before God out of the angel's hand.
Go ahead.
And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth.
Yep.
And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound.
Getting ready. Go ahead.
The first angel sounded. And
Well,
there-
stop. You know what? That is for the next leg of our lesson. Because we were about to go right into those trumpets. We don't have time to unpack that, okay? We dealt with the seals, okay? Did everybody get a little bit of understanding what's going on? Okay? I wanted to enrich everyone with this lesson and say, hey, you know what? That's a little more clear in my head, okay? I got a better picture in my head. It was fuzzy at first, but now it makes a little bit more sense. That's what my goal was for this lesson, okay? Again, this series is called The End of Days. We learned what these seals were, okay? We learned that they really started, they were opened okay, in the first century. We realize in Matthew 24 that the Messiah was talking about it the whole time. Okay, he was talking about it the whole time. And we see that it was him who opened the seals thereof. So that's what we learn. We learn that we have the seals. We learn what each seal contained. We learn that we're living in them. We're approaching the next seal. Okay, we're approaching the sixth seal. It hadn't happened yet because all the signs in heaven that we read in 4, 5, 6 places that was going to happen in that great and notable day, because it's going to kick off something. It's not going to be, us going to the beach and sitting out at the baseball park and everything. Things are going to change after that happens. Things are going to be really, really different. So let me encourage you to continue with us in our journey as we journey through the end of days. And until next time, search the scriptures and prove all things.